What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Welcome back to another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we're going to check out the two different types of marks in Call of Dragons. We have the golden mark for Bertrand and we have the mark of consul for Theodore. We're going to see the similarities and the differences between these two marks. I believe that these two marks kind of have a problem. Hopefully the game developers can do something about them in the future. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already. Turn on that bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, leave some comments down below. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, today we're gonna check out the differences between the two types of marks that are available in the game. The game developers have released two brand new magic heroes in Call of Dragons and nobody right now is happy about Theodore. I mean, nobody is happy about Tohar in the game. This guy is just sitting in the dust doing nothing. You don't even see him in the open field. Hopefully the game developers can do something about this channeling because this channeling is just crap. Everything here depends on the channeling and the enemy can just manipulate this channeling by taking one step back and it's game over. All the other skill kits become garbage. It's kind of like a waste of your tokens. So for today's video, we're going to check out the differences between the golden mark of Mr. Bertrand and the mark of consul of Mr. Theodore. We're going to see the differences and the similarities between these two. Both of these marks kind of have a problem right now. So we're going to start off with Mr. Theodore. So this is Theodore. He has a skill damage of 1400 and then he has a HP debuff of minus 30%. So there is this thing known as coup de grace. Let's see what it says. Each time Theodore inflicts a debuff effect on an enemy legion via a hero skill, he gains 1 stack of consul's mark. Maximum stacks 3. All stacks of consul's mark are consumed when Theodore casts a rage skill, increasing damage dealt by that skill. Damage bonus 20% per stack consumed. Now consul's mark is reset when battle ends. So here Theodore can get up to 3 marks, which should give him 60% hero skill damage. But there is no way in this game for anybody to get 3 stacks for Theodore. And a lot of people did not complain because nobody gave a crap about cavalry. We have had this problem ever since 5 months ago, and people are just realizing it right now when the game developers introduced Bertrand. So let us continue with the mark of Theodore. Now, like I said, guys, this skill is going to require a debuff from a rage skill. As of right now, there are only 2 heroes who can trigger the mark of consul for Theodore. You have Bertrand with the cowardice from his rage skill. And then you have Nika with the HP from her rage skill. These are the only 2 heroes who can trigger the mark of consul for Theodore. When you pair up Theodore with Bakshi or with Emrys, you are not going to get a second mark because only Theodore will be applying the mark, only giving you 20% more hero skill damage for Theodore. Now when you pair up Theodore with Bertrand, you're gonna get 2 marks of consul, which should give you 40% hero skill damage for Theodore only. So we have had this problem for a very long time and nobody complained. Now when I talked to the game developers, I said, what if we put this skill here? Let's go back to Bertrand. So I asked the game developers, what if we put this skill here? Is it gonna give us a 3rd mark for Theodore? Because it says when casting rage skill, inflicts slow on the target legion, reducing their march speed by 15% for 3 seconds. Now this is a debuff from the rage skill. And the customer service said these heroes were meant to trigger their mark only from a direct hero rage skill. So anything that comes from the talent tree is not going to trigger any mark. So this is something that people need to recognize right now. We have had this problem, but nobody complained because nobody cared about cavalry. And now we are having the same problem with Bertrand and everybody is losing their minds. Honestly, I don't think they are gonna do anything about this. You guys should have complained about Theodore a long time ago. but you guys didn't care. So let us check out Bertrand and see how his golden mark is almost similar to the mark of consul. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, the spotlight is on Mr. Bertrand, and today we're gonna see how that golden mark is similar to the mark of consul. First of all, this hero is awesome. He can do a 1500 skill damage factor. And right now everybody is so excited because they want the 3 stacks to take this 1500 to the next level. But little do people know that the game developers don't want you to get the full benefit of this hero unless you pair him up with his favorite pair, which is Tohar. Tohar right now is the only one who can trigger all these 3 marks and help you get, you know, all the 3 marks for the 1500 skill damage. That's the only way you're gonna get it. It is the same way only Ferondil can trigger Theodore to get us at least 2 marks. You cannot get 3 marks with Theodore. So let's get back to the Bertrand. Bertrand has such a nice skill kit with the 1500 skill damage. We're gonna come back to this compound interest. You have skill number 3, Magic Circle, gives you 25% magic attack, magic unit enemy defense penetration of 10%. And from here they have put a limitation because they feel like this hero might be overpowered. So they decided to make it so that you get all of this if you don't take any normal attack. And then the awakening just pushes you to 1500 skill damage. So this is the compound interest for Mr. Bertrand. A lot of people have been complaining. It says when Bertrand deals hero skill damage, he gains 1 stack of golden marks for 5 seconds. Maximum 3 stacks. Each stack of golden mark increases hero skill damage dealt by 10%. So I think they designed this hero so that you don't get all the marks unless you pair him up with Tohar. So now a lot of people are going to the talent tree for Mr. Bertrand and trying to see this skill here known as Thirst for Blood. When casting a rage skill, your legion deals additional hero skill damage to the target legion, damage factor 60. So just to confirm for you guys, this thing is not going to trigger any mark, because when I talked to CS long time ago about Theodore, they said stuff from the talent tree does not trigger the marks. We have Mr. Theodore here. You can get 3 stacks. Only way to get it is for Ferondil to trigger this ability here, but that is not possible because you cannot use the talent tree to trigger the marks. So right now you cannot take advantage of Theodore's 3 marks. It is impossible. There is no way of getting it, and I think the game developers need to address this. Now when it comes to Bertrand, the same thing also applies. So there are 2 ways you can use Bertrand. If you put Bertrand as a primary, then you're gonna have to upgrade the second skill all the way up to 5 so that you get this 10% for your deputy hero. That's what's gonna happen. Now if you decide to put Bertrand as a deputy, now this would be the best route for free-to-play players. You can go 5-1-5-5, because if you put Bertrand as a deputy, you do not need this second skill. And why? Because the primary hero is gonna trigger 1 mark, and then Bertrand is gonna consume that mark, giving it 5% skill damage. You don't get any benefit from these things you see here. Now these benefits are gonna come if Bertrand is primary and then you use somebody else as a deputy. So what now is the difference between a golden mark and the mark of consul? Now the golden mark can be triggered by any other hero in the game. Any hero can trigger the golden mark and give you 1 stack. And then we have the mark of consul. You can only trigger the mark of consul by a rage skill that has a debuff. And only Theodore, Ferondil, and who else? We have Nika here. They can trigger the mark of consul. I think Nico can also trigger the consul. Let's see. Defense reduction. This might be a debuff as well. So that can trigger the mark of consul and give you some type of damage. So these are the differences between these 2 abilities. They designed Theodore to work with Ferondil, and then they designed Bertrand to work with Tohar. I don't think Bertrand needs any fixing because he is working the exact same way Theodore is working for cavalry. The only problem is you guys did not notice, you guys did not complain about this 5 months ago, so the problem is still existing. I don't know if they're gonna fix it. That's something we're gonna have to wait and see. Right now, the one hero that needs to be fixed is this guy. I'm just gonna max him out and try to make some content, you know. That's why I decided to invest, and I'm kind of regretting my decisions. Hopefully they can do something about this channeling and the guy will be useful in the open field. So that's it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Showed you the differences between the two different marks in the game. I don't think there is a big problem. We should have noticed it long time ago. So let's just wait and see what's gonna happen, if anything will be done to them. Now I feel like this is the guy who needs the fixing, the Theodore, because it says maximum 3 stacks. There is no way of getting it. Absolutely no way. But with Bertrand, you can at least trigger it with Tauhar. So let's wait and see what's gonna happen when people complain. And that's it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.